If you're over 60, you've probably been told that fish is one of the healthiest foods you can eat. Doctors say it's good for your heart. Diet books call it the perfect protein, and friends proudly grill salmon or tuna, thinking they're making the best possible choice. But here's the shocking truth most people don't realize. Not all fish is created equal. In fact, some of the most common fish sitting in your grocery store or on your dinner plate could silently be wrecking your health, loading your body with toxins, heavy metals, and chemicals that can raise your risk of memory decline, joint pain, heart problems, and even cancer. Imagine this. You're doing everything right, eating lighter, choosing fish instead of red meat, even skipping dessert. But the very fish you trusted is secretly flooding your system with mercury or clogging your arteries with hidden fat. That's not just frustrating, it's dangerous. And here's the kicker. While 4 types of fish should never touch your plate if you want to stay sharp, mobile, and strong in your golden years, there are also 4 others you absolutely must eat, because they protect your brain, soothe inflammation, and give your body the nutrients it desperately needs after 60. Today, I'm exposing both lists. Let's start with the 4 worst fish you should never touch. Here's the problem. Once you hit 60, your body doesn't process toxins, fats, or even proteins the same way it did in your 30s or 40s. Your liver and kidneys slow down, your digestion changes, and your brain and heart become much more sensitive to what you put on your plate. That's why the wrong type of fish can be especially harmful at this stage of life. Some fish are raised in polluted waters, fed unnatural diets, or pumped with antibiotics. Others carry alarmingly high levels of mercury, which can quietly eat away at your memory, your balance, and even your energy levels. And here's the sneaky part. The very fish that seem healthy on the surface are sometimes the worst offenders. If you're not careful, the fish you think is protecting your heart could actually be the one slowly damaging it. That's why knowing the difference between the bad and the good is not optional. It's essential. At first glance, tilapia looks like the perfect healthy choice. It's inexpensive, it's mild in flavor, it's versatile, and it shows up in countless recipes, from pan-fried fillets to fish tacos. For many people, especially seniors on a budget, tilapia feels like the safest and easiest way to get fish into the diet. But behind the mild taste and low price lies a set of dangers that make it one of the worst fish you can eat over 60. The biggest problem with tilapia is how it's raised. Unlike wild-caught salmon or sardines, tilapia is almost always farmed and not in pristine conditions. In many countries, tilapia is raised in overcrowded ponds where the water is dirty and the fish are fed unnatural diets, often soy, corn, or even animal byproducts. These conditions don't just make the fish unhealthy, they also make it a breeding ground for bacteria. To keep the fish alive in these stressful environments, farmers rely heavily on antibiotics and chemicals. By the time tilapia reaches your plate, it can carry residues of those substances, which your body then has to process. Here's why this matters, especially for seniors. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at detoxifying chemicals. What a 25-year-old might process and eliminate, a 65-year-old's liver or kidneys may struggle with. That means those leftover antibiotics and chemicals can linger longer in your system, contributing to inflammation, gut issues, and even antibiotic resistance. Another hidden danger is tilapia's fat profile. You've heard that fish is a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, the healthy fats that protect your heart, brain, and joints. But tilapia is shockingly low in omega-3s. In fact, it contains more omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess can actually fuel inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is linked to arthritis, memory decline, heart disease, and even cancer, conditions that already become more common with age. So instead of calming inflammation like salmon or sardines would, tilapia may actually be fanning the flames. And let's not forget contamination. In 2009, a food safety report revealed that farmed tilapia from certain countries contain dioxins and pesticides, chemicals that can take years to leave the body and may damage your immune system over time. Even cooking the fish doesn't get rid of these toxins. The final problem? Tilapia gives you a false sense of security. People eat it thinking they're making a smart swap for red meat or fried foods. But instead of getting brain-boosting omega-3s, they're getting a weak, nutrient-poor fish that might be carrying harmful chemicals. For seniors who need every bite to count toward better health, that's a dangerous trade-off. So while tilapia may be cheap and convenient, it's a bargain that comes at too high a cost. If you're over 60 and serious about protecting your heart, your memory, and your mobility, tilapia is one fish you should never let near your dinner plate. King mackerel is one of those fish that sounds regal, nutritious, and powerful, and in many ways, it is. It's a big, oily fish that's packed with protein and fat. But here's the shocking catch. King mackerel is also one of the most mercury-heavy fish in the ocean. And for anyone over 60, mercury is not just a minor concern. It's a serious health threat. Mercury is a toxic heavy metal that builds up in large, predatory fish like king mackerel. These fish feed on smaller fish, absorbing the mercury from everything they eat. Over time, the levels get dangerously high. And when you eat that fish, the mercury gets into your bloodstream and organs. Unlike other toxins, mercury doesn't just pass through your system quickly. It can lodge in your tissues and stay there, slowly affecting your body over years. For seniors, this is especially concerning. Mercury directly attacks the nervous system. It interferes with brain function, memory, coordination, and even mood. Symptoms like brain fog, anxiety, depression, or trembling hands are sometimes brushed off as just aging, but they could actually be signs of low-level mercury poisoning. Imagine spending years worried about dementia or Parkinson's when in reality, your seafood choices are quietly contributing to the decline. Mercury also stresses the heart. Studies show that mercury exposure raises the risk of heart disease and arrhythmias. For someone over 60 who may already have stiffer arteries, higher blood pressure, or a history of heart problems, king mackerel is like adding fuel to the fire. Every bite might be subtly raising the risk of a heart attack or a stroke. And let's not forget about the immune system. As you get older, your immune defenses naturally weaken. Mercury can suppress immune function even further, making you more vulnerable to infections, slower healing, and even chronic conditions. Now here's the frustrating part. Some people turn to mackerel because they've heard fish is brain food. And that's true, but not when the fish is loaded with mercury. The small, oily fish like sardines or Atlantic mackerel are actually wonderful for the brain, while king mackerel is a dangerous imposter. It gives you the protein and omega-3s, yes, but at the hidden cost of heavy metal poisoning. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, have even put king mackerel on their official do not eat list for pregnant women, children, and yes, older adults. The reason? Its mercury content is among the very highest of any fish. But here's the kicker. King mackerel often shows up in restaurants, fish markets, and even canned products simply labeled mackerel. Unless you specifically know the type, you may think you're buying a safe variety when in reality, you're bringing home one of the most mercury-laden fish out there. The bottom line, if you're over 60, you should cross king mackerel off your shopping list immediately. Your brain, your heart, and your immune system simply can't afford the hidden burden of mercury this fish carries. There are safer, healthier alternatives that give you all the benefits without the poison, and we'll get to those when we count down the best fishes later. When most people think of healthy fish, salmon is usually the first that comes to mind. It's praised by doctors, fitness coaches, and diet books as the ultimate source of omega-3s, the kind of fat that protects your heart, sharpens your brain, and soothes your joints. And while wild-caught salmon is one of the best foods you can eat, the truth about farmed salmon is much darker. Over 70% of the salmon sold in supermarkets and restaurants isn't wild, it's farmed. These salmon are raised in massive underwater pens that cram thousands of fish together. To the casual shopper, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But the reality is shocking. In these overcrowded environments, diseases and parasites spread like wildfire. To keep the fish alive, farmers rely heavily on antibiotics, pesticides, and chemicals. And when you eat that salmon, you may be getting traces of those substances, too. For seniors, this is especially concerning. As the liver and kidneys slow down with age, they have a harder time filtering out toxins. That means any leftover chemical residues from farm fish can linger longer in your body, feeding inflammation and stressing your immune system. What should be a healing food ends up quietly undermining your health. But that's just the beginning. Farm salmon also has a very different fat profile compared to wild salmon. Instead of feasting on small fish and ocean life, farm salmon are fed soy, corn, and processed pellets, an unnatural diet that changes the very makeup of their flesh. Instead of being rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3s, farm salmon often contains higher levels of omega as excess, which actually promote inflammation when out of balance. For seniors struggling with arthritis, stiff joints, or memory decline, this is exactly the opposite of what they need. And here's something that shocks most people. Farm salmon are often colored pink artificially. In the wild, salmon get their vibrant color naturally from eating krill and shrimp. But farm salmon will be a dull gray without chemical pigments added to their feed. That healthy-looking, bright pink fillet in your grocery store may be more cosmetic than nutritional. Even worse, studies have found that farm salmon can be contaminated with PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, industrial chemicals linked to cancer and immune problems. These toxins accumulate in the fatty tissue of farm fish and can build up in your body over time. For an older adult already facing a slow metabolism and a higher risk of chronic disease, this is like adding an extra burden your body doesn't need. Let's put in perspective. Wild salmon is one of nature's best superfoods, while farm salmon is one of the most misleading. Two fillets may look almost identical in the store, but one will heal your body while the other could silently harm it. The heartbreaking truth is that many seniors unknowingly eat farm salmon, thinking they're doing their health a favor. Instead of protecting their heart and brain, they're consuming a fish that's been stripped of nutrients, pumped with chemicals, and loaded with the wrong kinds of fats. The takeaway? If you see salmon that isn't clearly labeled wild caught, assume it's farmed, and leave behind. Your body deserves the real thing, not a chemical imitation. Shark might not be the first fish you think of when shopping for dinner, but often sneaks into diets under different names, sometimes sold as rock salmon flake dogfish, or even mislabeled in fish and chip shops. And while it might sound exotic or adventurous to try, shark is without a doubt one of the worst fish you can eat, especially if you're over 60. Why? One word: mercury. Sharks are apex predators, meaning they sit at the very top of the food chain. They don't just eat small fish, they eat the fish that eat the fish. And with every bite, the mercury levels climb higher. By the time a shark reaches your plate, its mercury content is off the charts. In fact, shark consistently ranks among the highest mercury-containing fish on Earth. Now here's why this is devastating for seniors. Mercury is a neurotoxin. It attacks your brain and nervous system. At younger ages, your body might be better equipped to handle small exposures. But after 60, the risks multiply. Mercury can worsen memory loss, slow your reflexes, and even mimic symptoms of dementia. For someone already worried about cognitive decline, eating shark is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Mercury also damages the heart. Research has linked mercury exposure to higher risks of heart attacks, arrhythmias, and blood vessel damage. This is especially concerning for older adults, since heart disease is already the leading health threat after 60. And here's the hidden danger most people don't think about. Mercury accumulates. It doesn't just pass out of your system after a few days. It can linger in your tissues for months or even years, slowly poisoning your system with every bite. That means one special shark dinner today could still be affecting your brain and heart well into the future. But mercury isn't the only problem. Shark populations are declining and many are overfished. That means eating shark isn't just bad for your health. It's bad for the environment. Seniors who want to leave a healthier planet for their grandchildren should know that avoiding shark helps protect fragile ocean ecosystems. Now, Here's the kicker. Many seniors don't even realize they're eating shark. Restaurants or seafood counters may sell it under other names. In Britain, rock salmon is often shark. In the U.S., certain types of steak fish or fish and chips have been found to actually be shark meat. Without clear labeling, you could be taking one of the most mercury-loaded fish without even knowing it. So why is shark the number one worst? Because it combines the highest health risks with the least nutritional payoff. Unlike safer fish like sardines or wild salmon, shark doesn't offer enough omega-3s to balance out its dangers. It's a toxic trap disguised as a meal. The bottom line is clear. If you're over 60 and serious about protecting your memory, your mobility, and your longevity, shark should never touch your plate. If shark was a toxic trap, sardines are the complete opposite. A tiny fish that delivers massive health benefits, especially for people over 60. Sardines might not be glamorous, and are often overlooked in the grocery aisle. But these little silver fish are one of the smartest choices you can make for your heart, brain, bones, and joints. Here's why sardines are in a top spot. They are extremely low in mercury. Because sardines are small and short-lived, they don't have time to accumulate heavy metals the way big fish like shark or king mackerel do. That makes them one of the safest seafood options for seniors. Every bite gives you nutrients, not toxins. But safety is just the beginning. Sardines are absolutely packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the kind your body desperately needs after 60. These fats fight inflammation, improve circulation, and protect your brain cells from decline. Seniors who eat omega-3 rich fish regularly have been shown to maintain sharper memory, better mood, and lower risk of Alzheimer's. And unlike tilapia or farmed salmon, sardines provide these benefits in abundance. Another major benefit? Bone strength. As we age, bone density drops, and the risk of fractures and osteoporosis climbs. Sardines are one of the few foods that naturally contain both calcium and vitamin D, two nutrients that work hand in hand to keep bones strong. If you eat them with the tiny edible bones, which are soft and safe, you're actually giving your body an all-natural bone supplement in every serving. Sardines are also rich in protein, which seniors need more than ever. After 60, muscle mass tends to decline, leading to weakness, slow metabolism, and balance issues. The high-quality protein in sardines helps preserve muscle strength and energy without the heavy fats or toxins that come with red meat. And let's not forget the convenience factor. Sardines are affordable, widely available canned, and easy to prepare. You don't have to cook or season them much. Just open a tin, add them to a salad, spread them on whole grain toast, or mix them into pasta. For seniors who want quick, nutrient-packed meals without hassle, sardines are unbeatable. There's also a hidden bonus. Sardines are incredibly good for your heart health. They naturally contain coenzyme Q10 CoQ10, a compound that supports energy production in your cells and keeps your heart strong. Many seniors end up buying CoQ10 supplements, but sardines give you a natural food source of it. Finally, sardines are sustainable. Unlike shark or other overfish species, sardines are abundant and reproduce quickly, making them an environmentally friendly choice. When you eat sardines, you're not only nourishing yourself, you're making a choice that supports ocean health for future generations. So while they may not look impressive on the shelf, sardines are a nutritional powerhouse. They're safe, affordable, convenient, and packed with the exact nutrients seniors need most: omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and protein. That's why sardines claim the spot as the number 4 best fish you must eat regularly if you're over 60. Now, this one comes with a very important distinction. Earlier, we exposed king mackerel as one of the worst fish due to its sky-high mercury content. But its smaller cousin, Atlantic mackerel, is an entirely different story, and one of the absolute best fish you can eat if you're over 60. The difference comes down to size, diet, and lifespan. Atlantic mackerel are small, fast-growing fish that don't live long enough to build up dangerous levels of mercury. That makes them incredibly safe compared to their larger, predatory relatives. So while king mackerel should be on your never-touch list, Atlantic mackerel deserves a proud spot on your dinner plate. Here's why. Atlantic mackerel is one of the richest natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids in the world. Ounce for ounce, it actually contains more omega-3s than salmon. And these aren't just any fats. They're the exact anti-inflammatory fats your body craves after 60. They nourish your brain, keep your arteries flexible, and protect your joints. Seniors who eat omega-3 rich fish like Atlantic mackerel 2 to 3 times a week show lower rates of heart disease, sharper memory, and even improved mood. Another major advantage of Atlantic mackerel is its protein density. Each serving delivers high-quality protein that helps maintain muscle mass, which is critical for seniors to avoid weakness and falls. At a time when your body naturally loses muscle every decade, foods like mackerel act like fuel for your strength and independence. But the benefits don't stop there. Atlantic mackerel is loaded with vitamin B12, a nutrient many seniors are deficient in. B12 is essential for nerve health, energy production, and red blood cell formation. Low B12 can cause fatigue, memory issues, and even numbness or tingling in the hands and feet. By eating mackerel regularly, you're naturally replenishing this critical vitamin without relying solely on supplements. Atlantic mackerel is also a fantastic source of selenium, a mineral that supports thyroid health and acts as a powerful antioxidant. Antioxidants are especially important as we age, since they protect cells from the oxidative stress that speeds up aging and contributes to diseases like cancer. Let's also talk about affordability and accessibility. Unlike wild-caught salmon, which can be pricey, Atlantic mackerel is often inexpensive and available canned, smoked, or fresh. That makes it an easy addition to a senior's weekly menu without breaking the bank. Now here's a surprising bonus. Atlantic mackerel has a sustainable reputation. It's one of the most environmentally friendly seafood choices you can make, since it's still abundant and responsibly fished. That means you're not only helping your own health, you're supporting the planet's health, too. The only catch, pun intended, is making sure you're choosing the right type. Look for Atlantic mackerel or North Atlantic mackerel specifically. Avoid anything labeled simply as mackerel without detail, since that can include king mackerel or Spanish mackerel, which are much higher in mercury. The bottom line is clear. Atlantic mackerel is a small fish with huge benefits. It's safe, nutrient-dense, affordable, and packed with brain-boosting, heart-protecting omega-3s. For seniors looking for a food that fights inflammation, strengthens memory, and supports energy, Atlantic mackerel is a must. We already uncovered farmed salmon as one of the worst choices for seniors, but its wild counterpart is a completely different story. In fact, wild-caught salmon is one of the most nutrient-packed, health-protective foods you can put on your plate after 60. Here's why wild salmon deserves its reputation as a superfood. First and foremost, it is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the very type of fat that becomes absolutely essential as we age. Omega-3s do far more than just protect the heart. They reduce inflammation throughout the body, helping soothe stiff joints and aching muscles. They keep blood vessels flexible, lowering the risk of dangerous clots and strokes. And they directly nourish the brain, supporting sharper memory, quicker thinking, and better mood regulation. For seniors concerned about dementia or Alzheimer's, omega-3s are one of the best defenses nature provides, and wild salmon delivers them in abundance. But omega-3s are only part of the story. Wild salmon is also a powerhouse of high-quality protein. After age 60, the body begins to naturally lose muscle mass, which leads to weakness, falls, and slower recovery from illness. Wild salmon provides lean protein that helps rebuild and preserve muscle without the heavy fats and toxins found in red meat. It fuels energy, strength, and independence. 3 things every senior wants to hold on to. Another huge benefit is the antioxidant astaxanthin. This is the compound that gives wild salmon its vibrant orange-pink color. Astaxanthin isn't just pretty. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants on Earth. It protects cells from damage, boosts immune function, and has been linked to healthier skin, sharper vision, and even slower aging. For seniors, that means better protection against the wear and tear that comes with time. Wild salmon is also rich in vitamin D, which is crucial since many older adults are deficient in it. Vitamin D supports bone strength, reduces the risk of fractures, and works with calcium to keep your skeleton sturdy. It also supports the immune system, a critical factor for seniors who want to avoid infections and stay strong through cold and flu season. Unlike farm salmon, wild salmon has a clean, natural diet. It feeds on krill, shrimp, and smaller fish, which means its nutrient profile is far superior. It's lower in omega-6 fats, the kind that fuel inflammation, and free from the antibiotics, dyes, and chemicals often used in salmon farms. Simply put, wild salmon gives you all the benefits of salmon with none of the risks. Now, some people worry about the price of wild salmon. Yes, it's usually more expensive than farmed. But here's the truth. When you invest in wild salmon, you're investing in your health. One serving can deliver nutrients that rival an entire handful of supplements, and your body absorbs them better because they come from real food. If budget is a concern, canned wild salmon is often far more affordable and still delivers the same powerhouse benefits. The bottom line? Wild-caught salmon is a brain-boosting, heart-protecting, joint-soothing superfood that seniors should be eating regularly. It's the fish that truly lives up to the hype, and that's why it claims the number 2 spot on the must-eat list. When people think of anchovies, they often imagine salty little strips tossed onto a pizza. Not exactly the picture of health. But the truth is, when eaten in their natural, wild-caught form, anchovies are one of the single best fish you can eat over 60. In fact, they combine the safety of small fish like sardines with an even richer punch of nutrients, earning them a number 1 spot on this list. Here's why anchovies are senior superfood. First, they are extremely low in mercury. Just like sardines, anchovies are tiny, short-lived fish at the very bottom of the food chain. They don't have time to accumulate heavy metals or toxins. That means every serving is clean, safe, and worry-free. A huge advantage when you're protecting your brain and heart later in life. Second, anchovies are packed with omega-3 fatty acids. These little fish deliver one of the highest omega-3 concentrations per ounce of any seafood. That means powerful anti-inflammatory support for your joints, arteries, and brain. For seniors, that translates into less stiffness, a stronger heart, better circulation, and sharper memory. Researchers consistently find that people who eat omega-3 rich fish like anchovies have lower rates of heart attacks, strokes, and cognitive decline. Third, anchovies are an excellent source of calcium. Just like sardines, they're often eaten with the tiny, edible bones intact, and those bones are like a natural calcium supplement. For older adults facing bone loss, anchovies provide the minerals that keep your skeleton strong and reduce fracture risk. Combined with the vitamin D you can get from other fish like salmon, anchovies help lock in bone health well into your later years. Anchovies also bring something else to the table: iron. Many seniors, especially women, don't get enough iron, leading to fatigue, weakness, and even anemia. Anchovies deliver a gentle, natural source of iron that helps keep your blood strong and your energy steady. On top of that, anchovies are rich in B vitamins, especially niacin and riboflavin, which play a key role in turning food into energy and maintaining healthy skin and nerves. These vitamins become more important with age, since metabolism naturally slows and energy can dip. One of the biggest advantages of anchovies is their versatility. Unlike bigger fillets of salmon or tuna, anchovies can be easily added to sauces, soups, pastas, or salads. They practically dissolve when cooked, leaving behind a rich, savory flavor without an overpowering fishiness. This makes them easy to sneak into meals, even if you're not a fan of fishy tastes. For seniors with smaller appetites, this is a perfect way to boost nutrition without needing to eat large portions. And let's not forget the sustainability factor. Anchovies are among the most abundant and responsibly fished species in the world. That means when you eat them, you're making a choice that protects the oceans while nourishing your body. The bottom line? Anchovies may be tiny, but they're giant when it comes to health benefits. They're safe, clean, and brimming with the exact nutrients seniors need most. Omega-3s for the brain and heart, calcium for the bones, protein for the muscles, and iron for energy. For anyone over 60 who wants to stay sharp, mobile, and strong, wild-caught anchovies are hands down the best fish to keep on your menu. Now, here's the big mistake many people make after learning about good versus bad fish. They think that eating any amount of fish is automatically healthy, as long as it's on the safe list. But the truth is, portion size and balance matter just as much as the type of fish. Even the best fish, like sardines, mackerel, or salmon, can be overdone if you eat them every single day in huge amounts. Too much protein or too many calories can strain your kidneys, and even the cleanest fish still carry trace minerals your body needs time to process. The fix? Think moderation and rotation. For seniors, about 2 to 3 servings of safe omega-3 rich fish per week is the sweet spot. Rotate between different healthy options, like sardines one day, salmon another, and anchovies mixed into a meal later on. This way, you get a wide range of nutrients, avoid overload, and keep your meals exciting. Pair your fish with vegetables, whole grains, or beans for a complete, senior-friendly plate. So now you know the truth. For fish you should never touch, tilapia, king mackerel, farm salmon, and shark, and for you absolutely must eat, sardines, Atlantic mackerel, wild salmon, and anchovies. The difference can mean protecting your heart, sharpening your memory, strengthening your bones, and staying independent well into your golden years. If you found this eye-opening, make sure you hit the like button so more people over 60 see this vital information. Subscribe to Senior Health Fix Daily for more simple but life-changing health tips every single day. And tell me in the comments, which of these fish do you eat the most? And which one shocked you the most to see on the worst list? Your health is your wealth. And now you know which fish will truly keep you thriving.